In order to add objectives for my contribution, you would need to log into HR Connect self-service. You put your username and your password and you click Login. In order to access my contribution and the life cycle where you need to add your objectives, click on Goals and Performance. Instead of opening a form, you now need to open a review life cycle. The review life cycle is the action required. So it says the current stage is that the employee creates new objectives. And you click to open. This way, the life cycle opens. You can see the steps required for the objective setting stage, which is that the employee creates new objectives and the manager reviews and approves objectives. Please click Generate to open the objective setting form. You only need to do this once. So once you've generated the objective setting form and started added objectives, it will be there. You are now at the summary page for objective setting. The first thing you need to do is read the introduction. There's specific guidance for the reviewee and specific guidance for the reviewer. The guidance simply explains how to navigate through the sections, and it emphasizes that you need to submit after you have added all your objectives in the system and you're happy with them. Once you submit, your manager will receive a notification to start reviewing your objectives and then agree them. Make sure that you scroll down and you press Start. This first page is for review only. No further action is really required. What you do need to check is that the details are correct. So you check your name, your role, your reporting manager, and your reporting manager job title. If these are incorrect, you need to drop an email to the HR operations team. If they are correct, you can continue. So press Next. You are now at the objective setting page. If it's the first time that you're doing this, or you want a quick reminder on the fields that you need to complete, you can actually click on a link. So there's a number of links here. In fact, there's 3 links. This is the first one. The first link will give you an explanation on how to complete each step in the form. If you would like to see examples of SMART objectives or further guidance, the next link will bring you to our intranet pages. And again, Shaping Our Future strategy pages are also available, as they could support you in identifying key priorities and objectives. If you're ready to start, click Add. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and the Add button will appear on the right-hand side. You need to come up with an objective title, and I'm just going to use a random example. Please remember that the objective title cannot be too lengthy, because then it won't save. You then need to identify whether this objective will be an individual, a team objective, or a personal development objective. An individual objective is an objective that is unique to you. A team objective is an objective that could be shared amongst others within the team. So possibly you have peers that are working on the same priorities, and you could all have 1 or 2 or maybe more objectives that are exactly the same. And that would be grouped under a team objective. A personal development objective is very unique to you and is specifically linked to your strengths, development areas, and career aspirations. So your personal development objective is dependent on how you see your career develop, and it's based on enhancing knowledge or skills. In this case, I'm going to use an individual objective. The attachment date is the start date, which is today's date. The next thing you need to do is add a description. And again, for this objective, the objective title is Plan and Execute Webinars. So I called it Plan and Execute Webinars. And the description would be simply the SMART objective that you're planning to work on. So in this case, plan and execute 2 customer education webinars with 25 plus attendees per webinar and 80% plus satisfied, very satisfied rate for each webinar. So make sure that your objective is SMART, and think of how you can align it to the strategic pillars as well and why this is a priority for you. So these are other things that you could add under the description. Under the additional information, you would include additional support required, for example. In this case, I could say that I would need support from IS, for example, to plan the webinar. Then you would need to put a target completion date. Let's say that I want to have this done by April next year. I'm not putting an actual completion date yet. You would only put your target completion date. You then add a priority. So is this a low, medium, or high priority? I'm going to call this a medium priority objective. And again, the rating you would not add at this stage. Later on, you'll be able to add specific tasks or milestones to your objective as well, if you wish. So scroll, have a look again to see if you're happy with it, and then click Save. The changes have now been saved and your objective has appeared in the objective list. When you go to the bottom and click on Add Objective Details, another objective setting page opens and you can start adding your second objective. We have now added 3 objectives into the system. If you want to amend and update the objectives you've already created, you can click on Details. So Plan and Execute Webinars. If you click on Details, it will bring you to that specific objective. So you can make amendments and changes, or even delete it if you wish. You are also able to add specific actions to each objective and specific progress details. If you're happy with your objective and you want to submit the objectives so that your manager can review them and then agree them, you need to go back to the top, and there's 2 drop downs. So you can either click here to return to the performance lifecycle, or click here to return to the performance review form. In order to submit, we need to go back to the form. There are 3 objectives that you have added, and they will now be on the objective setting page. So actually, again, if you want to see them again, if you click here and you scroll down, you'll be able to see the objective details. In order to get to the submit button, unfortunately, you need to have been on each of the fields. And I'm saying unfortunately, because actually manager reviews and agrees objectives you don't need to do anything there. You just need to simply visit the page. So if you click on that, the name of the manager will be on the top, and it will say this page is for the manager to complete. The manager can review and agree the objectives by clicking here. We can't do that. This is what the page looks like. So you can navigate through the pages in different ways. You can either go back by clicking previous, or you can click here where you've got the personal details, the My Review objective setting page, and the summary. The summary page was the introduction where you started, and that's where we're going. You can now see the submit button here in the middle. Click submit. You are about to submit this form. Select OK to continue, or cancel to return to the form. We're going to click OK. It says that your form has been submitted. On the left-hand side, there is a green tick now under the My Review objective setting step. And now the manager has received a notification to review and agree.